This is how to make a self-care box, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like things that you could put in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, look at us both messing about with our hair.
Hiya and welcome to our podcast. I'm Dama.
And I'm Olivia, and we're the hosts of the podcast Panic and Me.
So today we're going to be showing you how to make a self-care box, and I have never done one before, so Olivia's also not only showing you guys but showing me as well.
So after this you'll be making your own care box.
Yep, I will be.
Yeah, so a self-care box in general is just creating a box or a drawer or a container of any kind, full of things that can help you when you're having a mental health relapse, or if you're going through a difficult time. And it can be used for people, not just people with mental illnesses. It can be helpful for anyone. If you're just having an off day, it's nice to have a box full of things. And kind of at first it can feel a bit like, not arbitrary is the only word that's coming to mind, but a bit like, not very helpful. But actually each item represents like a coping skill.
Okay.
So it teaches you, it's not just like, I'll have this and then that's like it. It's like it represents one of your coping skills. So you can use the object to kind of help ground yourself.
Cool.
So
let's get started.
First, we're going to go through a few like objects that you can put in, and at the end of the video, we're going to go through some more objects. But it's going to be based on a grounding technique that is also it helps you calm down during like a panic attack, or if you're dissociating. And dissociating is basically just some people feel detached from reality sometimes. It's something I get, and this is a really helpful way to kind of deal with that. So we'll introduce you to some coping mechanisms in this video as well. Right, so the first thing is just like having bath stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you, but like a nice hot bath can really, really help. It's coconut.
Very nice. So what is it?
So I think this is actually a moisturiser for after a bath, but you can put anything in there, like bath bombs, bath salts, bubble bath, whatever is, helpful to you. But often when we're struggling with our mental health, like self-care, as in physical self-care, can go down. And it can remind
you don't really want to do much things around the house, doing household chores, or even like looking after yourself. Can be very difficult sometimes.
So it just reminds you to kind of go have a shower and look after yourself in that way.
And if you've got something like some bath bombs to look forward to,
exactly, go to Lush, get yourself like your favorite bath bomb and have that in there, and it's actually something to look forward to. So that's the first item. So the second item is like some kind of puzzle. So this is the Hulk. You actually still need to watch the Hulk movie, don't you?
Yes, so we've been watching the Marvel films, so and you have one already made, and it's quite cool and fun to do. So that's something that would go in my care box. Because I quite like, there's little Lego puzzles, but you can put anything in there. Puzzle book, a Rubik's Cube. I mean, what kind of puzzles might you put in yours? Or distracting thing? I'm not too sure.
Oh, you'd have to have a look, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to order one of these because they look quite fun.
So, kind of like fiddle toys even, just kind of something distracting to do for a little while. And another thing that is very, actually, like, I think you got me one of these books. Well, this one's still got the £3 sign, so I got this for myself. But this is the Happiness Journal that Damon got me for my 21st. Was it you? Yeah.
I got
you got me
one
a different
of them.
one. This one was from someone else, but all for my 21st. I love journals, so I got loads of journals for my birthday. But having a journal in your box can be really helpful. So it can be one like this, which is just like plain inside.
You can
just write your thoughts, or it can be one more like this, which has kind of like prompts inside. which can help you if you struggle to kind of get your thoughts on paper. But it can be really helpful to have those in. Another kind of alternative would be like an adult colouring book.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
To help you relax if you're not really somebody that likes to write words down. But something, you know, to help you get your thoughts out, you know, get your feelings
Love
out.
It's very visual and just fun. It looks just really fun. Great for creatives.
You got to get that in there. And kind of linked to that, I mean, I think I've rehomed these to you, haven't I?
Yeah, to me.
And these are something that I still have. So, do you want to explain what they are?
Yeah, so these are cards that when you're feeling anxious, you pick one up. This one says, love your belly, and you turn it over and then it tells you what to do. And there's so many. Write without thinking, the big squeeze. Yeah, so clenching your muscles. Yeah, they're really fun to look out and a bit of a distraction to actually focus on yourself.
Yeah, so sometimes when I'm really anxious, I struggle to think. I know I have coping mechanisms, but I struggle to think what to do because you're so anxious or caught up in the moment. So these cards can just click you back into the moment. And you know, you don't have to buy ready-made ones like that. You
can make them yourself.
You can make them yourself easily with some flashcards. Or even in a notebook, and then put those in your self-care box, and they can help you remind yourself of some of the coping skills that you have. And I actually have 3 of these, are jars full of quotes. A month's worth of jars full of quotes. So this one is the success and inspiration jar. I have the happiness jar and another one. And you kind of, you know, take a quote out. And this one says, your past mistakes are there to guide you, not define you. And it's all quotes like that. And they kind of, you know, can help you reflect on what really matters in a moment. And actually, these are really nice to link to the journal. So if you're struggling to write in your journal, you can take out a quote and write what you're thinking about,
and it might inspire you.
Exactly. And again, like, this one was brought for me as a present, ready-made, but there's no reason you can't make these yourself. And actually, these are a really lovely thing to make as well if you've got a friend who's struggling with mental health.
For a friend.
I mean, even just a present for anyone in general, but especially if you know somebody's been struggling, these can be really nice to make. Just, you know, you are loved, you are worthy, things like that. And it can actually be nicer to make your own because you can write things that really speak to you. But
and a great activity to do yourself.
Exactly. And
a distraction.
Exactly. And I mean, on the topic of kind of like presents to give friends that are struggling, as a care box as well is a really nice idea. So you don't necessarily have to make these for yourself. So I think that covers all of our just random items that I would suggest. But now we're going to go through a kind of a grounding technique. And you can have all these items in your box, and they help you with this grounding technique. So it's based on the 5 senses. So you have something you can see, something you can hear, something you can touch, smell and taste. So we're going to go through and give you some examples of what you might put in, but really you can put in anything that stimulates one of those senses. So what should we start with? Smell. Right, so an obvious one for smell is perfume. So again, this was a birthday present, very lovely. And I absolutely love Hollister spray. This one is, you know, these are lovely to have
hair
in.
And body mist.
These are lovely to have in. You could have lavender bags. You could have
love lavender.
You could have anything really that smells strongly. And something that represents one of our later senses can also be used for smell. So literally anything. Another thing that potentially you could mix is like you could have a bath one that could represent your smell.
Yeah.
So
light some candles, relax.
Mm-hmm. And that, so it's good to have something that represents your smell. So that's the first thing you might do. And you really have to sit there and smell and focus on the smell. And it aids in like a mindfulness and calming down.
I don't know about you, but when it comes to depression and anxiety, little things like this that bring you joy, I forget that I have things like this that I, can enjoy. But because you're so wrapped up in these anxious thoughts and feeling down, I just forget to love things and things that bring me joy.
That's why having a box with these in is really, really great. Right, so what's the next one we should do?
Touch.
So, an obvious one for touch is teddies and I stole this from my landlord's daughter. It's great to calm down. Putty or stress balls. Here, I've had him since I was a child.
Yeah.
So I think lots of people have, a stuffed toy from when they were younger, or maybe a blanket, a pillow, something that brings them joy, something that brings them comfort. It's good to, if you don't have them with you all the time, it's good to have them in the box for, a time you need them. And, and with touch, again, it's really important to pay attention. How does this feel? Squeezing this, I can think like feel the tightness in my hand. In this, you can feel the different sensations through the teddy. So it's important to really be mindful, and that's the best way to make this grounding technique work. Because when I'm dissociating, I don't know if dissociation is something you get. It's like a detachment from reality.
Yes.
So I feel very spacey. So this brings you back to what is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you.
No, I'm just enjoying this talk because it's just like I just forget the simple things in life.
Yeah, and lots of coping mechanisms are very simple but quite effective.
Yeah.
It's just getting, obviously with mental health, it can be really hard to remind yourself of these small things and to find the motivation to do them as well. So this it's just an easy way. Right, what's the next thing we should do? Sight. Right, so this one was a little bit difficult, I had to think of. But I quite like watching like the flame of a candle. Other options might be a DVD, or just like obviously we all watch Netflix, so just a note that says like watch, an episode of what's a feel good show like Rick and Morty or something, whatever brings Friends, actually a good feel good show, just to remind yourself. And again, like with this, it's really watching it and really paying attention. And
if you have a bath,
it's
a great sight.
It's great to kind of stimulate. A bath's great as well because you can feel the hot water, you can smell candles and things like that.
You know what I recommend when you are having a bath? I have this bad habit of bringing my phone in and putting an episode of something, or like watching YouTube. Try and like detox for that hour or half an hour, however long you spend in the bath.
Read a book if you don't want to be left alone with your thoughts.
But try and like detox, because we're always around technology. Just try and detox for that half an hour or an hour. And read a book, watch the candle, just enjoy the presence of the feeling and
of being.
And the steam in the bath is meant to cleanse your pores, really good for your skin.
So put that. And which one should we do now? Hearing. Okay, so keep a spare pair of earphones in your box, because the most annoying thing, these again are my landlord's daughters, it can be so annoying when you need to just drown the world out, listen to your favourite music, and you can't find your earphones. It can make coping really hard. So keep a spare pair of earphones in your box. Start jamming.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can really, again, you know, when you're down, don't play sad music. Play happy music. I know you might want to listen to sad songs, but that will take you further into your depression and into your low mood. So I've actually done music therapy. Yeah, it was really good. And basically it's about creating playlists of happy songs, and songs that bring you joy, because when you're anxious or depressed, you're drawn to songs that make you more anxious and depressed, when actually you should be listening to songs that are making you more relaxed and or happy. So yeah, when you're listening to music, do be careful what you do listen to. And linking back to, you know, what we said about TV shows, same thing. I get nightmares, so when I'm anxious, I don't watch scary things. I'll watch, you know, happy things that will, you know, calm me down rather than hype me up. Right. So the last one, which is my favourite, is taste. Yes. So I usually have a bar of chocolate, but obviously that's eaten. So like a tin of biscuits, some chocolate, something that won't go off because you don't know how long it's going to be sitting in the box. But again, it's about really savouring the food. You know, something that tastes quite strongly can be good as well. You'd probably have popcorn in yours or something, and really kind of say it was salty popcorn, really taking notice of what it is to have, the salty popcorn and things like that. So really taking notice. Cool. Yeah, and then the last thing is probably the most important. So if any of you have been through therapy before or in touch with your GP, you might have created a safety plan, and we'll probably make another video soon on how to create a safety plan. And that can be, you know, if you're at risk of, if you have, you know, trigger warning, like talking about self-harm and suicide, if you have suicidal thoughts, or self-harm, you've self-harmed, you have thoughts of self-harm, then a safety plan is things that you can do so that you don't self-harm and or put yourself or others at risk. So keep in your box a safety plan. That should include what you can do to distract yourself from the thoughts, who you can contact. So, you know, friends, family, the number of your crisis team or the GP. In Cambridge, we have NHS 112, the Samaritans, shout text line, which are very, very good. I've volunteered for them. Excellent. The training is really intense, you know, and they're people that really care. So reach out if you need help. Sometimes things can be so bad that you can't sort it out on your own, and that is okay. And no box in the world will be enough. And that's the time that you have to reach out to other people to ensure that you're safe. So it's really important to have that safety plan and or contacts to people that you could talk to in your box as well, just in case the other things don't help. But it's really good to, depending, obviously you are the best judge of your mental health, but it is good to try to kind of calm yourself down before you reach out sometimes, just so that you can build up these coping skills. But if you do feel obviously at risk in any way, then reaching out is the right thing to do. Yeah.
Well, thank you for showing me this.
That's okay.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
Get to creating yours now. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's a lot of me talking. But it's a really nice thing to do, and
we inspired you.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Send us some pictures of your self-care boxes. That would be great, really nice. And comment below and tell us, you know, if there's anything else you want to see. Like, subscribe and all of that. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye.